concern, but really, I'm okay. Is she talking to me? I'll see you at practice tomorrow. I guess not. Still, clearly she's not asleep, so I can knock without worry. So why this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Granted, I still haven't had time to figure out this newfound interest in Emmy's well-being. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond feelings of mere friendship. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? Either way, I should just open up the door and see how she's doing. That's why I came here, right? What if she's not dressed yet? Oh, the image flashes through my mind, and my mind causes my heart to skip a beat, literally. I should probably not ever think those thoughts again, not if I want to avoid a heart attack. I suddenly realize that I'm standing in the hallway looking like an idiot. Emmy still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I knock anyway. Hopefully she won't mind the interruption. You worry too much. Come in! The door's unlocked. So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process has come to a grinding halt. Emmy is sitting up in bed, her hair tousled from a day spent asleep. I think this is the first time I've ever seen her without those familiar beads in her hair. Her gym shirt and bloomers, obviously hasty pulled on before I came in, are creased and folded from less than proper storage. Her legs lay bare on the sheets. I've never seen Emmy without prosthetics before, yet there she is, slender legs terminating in stumps just below her knees. But as odd as this sight is, I find myself more captivated by everything north of the waist. It seems that Emmy has finished her conversation with whoever she was on the phone with, and is now watching my reaction closely out of one open eye as she wipes sleep from the other. Her expression, far from being embarrassed, is rather one of a surprisingly wide yawn, or perhaps appropriate from such a small mouth. A grin for that brief moment seems almost flirtatious, tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes in the sight of me. I can do nothing but remain in a state of fluctuating between fear, confusion, and not a little bit of lust. Emmy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Asao. A wave of laughter erupts from her, and I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just never seen someone so disheveled look so attractive. Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so... sorry. Emmy giggles again and moves up to sit in a little straighter. I'm caught up in the movements of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you were going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I respond in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on? I didn't notice. This is almost the truth. I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks a pillow at my head. Ass! I deftly catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot. The shifting of her shirt distracted me enough so the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof! I retaliate, of course. And once I've retaliated twice, well, war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have a far better aim than me, well, it was just a matter of time before I'd have to resort to suicidal charge. Gotcha! Eep! Bam! Smack! Biff! And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. And with that kind of struggle, of course we'd wind up in this sort of position. And so I find myself staring down at her from my position atop her. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air. The small bit of my brain that is not currently enraptured by the sight of her and the smell of her observes that she must be still ill because her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long because everything seems to go fuzzy. Everything that isn't her anyways. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them I almost catch a glimpse of, what? Fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly convulses her, and I'm almost stumbling in my haste to get off of her, to apologize for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have... It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham! This earns me another shove, and I nearly fall off of her bed. Emmy's eyes sparkle again, and I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they were before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, hauntingly, teasing. She throws her arm across her forehead dramatically, grin still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. As we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back to teasing me. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning like a total wuss. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms petulantly and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure you wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerk, Kasayo. So how was your day then, eh? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty much early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also to let me know that it was okay to skip practice. Good, at least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked on her. Although I can't help but to think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yeah, sure was. Emmy yawns and shimmies down into a more comfortable position. So how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know. I went ahead and ran myself, and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. I meander through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's when I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I draw her blanket to cover us. Aww. She rolled over on one side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. Hey. It seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her, but in response she only tightens her arm's grip around me and sighs a little. My resistance to this position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body breathing slightly, steadily, is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if she wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meaningless in this situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emmy suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Dad! This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. What? Hasayo? She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shudders again and glances up at me a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? Hmm? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow, I don't think I should press the issue. Emmy shudders again and turns towards me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold medicine's just made me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Rin maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Asayo. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine. I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I'd better get going, especially if I want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Sao? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something. Then, in another first, I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who wasn't Rin. Now that's surprising. I would figure that Emmy'd have people dropping by all the time. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought, always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again. And thanks for staying around after well, a look of pain flits across her face. You know, it helped. She brightens back up and waves cheerily at me. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy? Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Asayo. See you in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway and open up the door and tell her,